guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We're here in Nashville, Tennessee, deep within the heart of Music City. And guess what? We have that vehicle that's stirring up a lot of attention and controversy. This is it. This is the all-new 2023 Toyota Crown. But before we get into our top Platinum Max hybrid powered vehicle, let's talk about what's going on here. Toyota. When you think Toyota, most people here in the United States would think Corolla, Camry, RAV4, Sienna, even the Toyota Supra. Crown is actually one of their oldest, longest lasting names. Goes back to 1955, and guess what? For many years, the Crown had only been sold in other parts of the world, not here in the United States. There's been 15, yes, 15 different iterations of this iconic nameplate, and now Toyota wants to dive in with something totally different. They killed off the Toyota Avalon, that vehicle that was a little bit larger than the Camry, and this is the new direction. Now with this Crown, this is a luxury sedan. You may be looking at it and say, no, Joe, that's a SUV. That's not a sedan, but this is something new that Toyota wants to do. They're being brave. My question is, have they done it for the proper price point? So let's go ahead, let's dive into this Bronze Age metallic Crown and see, is this worth the price? And is it the best luxury sedan to buy? Let's go ahead and find out. Let's check it out. Right off the bat, the style. Just like we brought it to you from the Detroit Auto Show and also that secret studio, here it is in the Nashville sun, and we got a different color. Now, one way to know that this is the top trim, before you even go to the back of the vehicle to see what the badge says, is the two-tone paint. Specifically for the Platinum trim, you got your black paint, and then you got that Bronze Age metallic. Some other colors obviously would be white, silver, and heavy metal. Now at the front of the business, when you go all in and go the Platinum trim, you're gonna get special, unique, multi-LED beam headlights. Love the way they have those individual elements. You got your LED daytime running lamp and turn signal. And then one thing you'll notice is how that daytime running lamp actually runs across the whole front end of the car. At night, this is gonna have a unique look. Now, working your way down, the great news is nothing fake. You do have the gloss black, curves out and extends for aerodynamic efficiency. And one of the most unique things about this vehicle, especially comparing it to the car it replaced, you have 5.8 inches of ground clearance. And like I said, this is a sedan. It's got a trunk, not a sportback, not a liftback, not a hatchback. It's an actual sedan with 5.8 inches of ground clearance. We come across the front and you're gonna get that familiar Toyota design. Now, one of the things that I'm glad they did to kind of cut down on the amount of just blandness is they gave this cool kind of triangular pattern to the gloss black midsection. Look at how well they hid that forward-facing camera. I bet you if I didn't point it out to you, you would not have even seen it. A little bit of bright metallic silver gives it that nice sprinkling. It's like putting some Hershey syrup on top of your sundae. And then of course you got the lower lip, which extends out to really give it a nice presence. Now, if you are looking for functionality, guess what? You do have it at the top portion, which is kind of unique. So you have some down below, some up top, and then as we rise up top, I like the way they sunk the Toyota badge into the front fascia. Just enough to where it's prominent, but it's not just sticking out in the wind. And then going with the two-tone, it's interesting. I find, especially outside, it really highlights the lines, especially how you have the brow that extends into the fender, and then that nice V formation up onto the roof and out on that back area, like I said, is an actual trunk. Now, when we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. You're getting the largest wheels ever put on a Toyota sedan. 21-inch wheels, multi-spoke, gloss black design. Love the machined aluminum. Looking really good, especially on this lifted sedan. 225 on the width, 45 series sidewall, and guess what? We have adaptive suspension, all four corners on that Platinum trim, and we also have an all-new special max hybrid all-wheel drive system. And we'll talk more about that in a split second. Now, one of the things I'm gonna have to zonk, what's going on here? Why is this not body colored to the bronze metallic or even painted black? Why is it flat black? We're gonna have to zonk that, especially on the top trim. If you're wondering, well, what are the other trims? You have XLE and you have limited. I could expect that on an XLE, not on a platinum. So that definitely needs to get painted right away. But as we come down the side, love that bronze age metallic. Really nice sparkle to it in the Nashville sun. You do have painted black on your mirror caps with some flat black and your turn signals. And then from the side, remember, I'm 6 feet tall. You could see that extra height to the vehicle, but it's got a very unique shape to it to make it kind of cut through the wind, even though it's sitting up top. Now, you do have some shiny, bright work on the door handles that are also gloss black. That's unique to the platinum trim. We also have the shiny, bright metal work top and bottom of the window treatment. And guess what? We have a nice, large panoramic roof. And when you get it painted, it's all black. That, to me, is worth the extra cost. A little bit of gloss black trim, which I think was smart, because if you had this just all bronze, I think something would get lost in translation. So having this piece that kind of rises up, plateaus, and then dips back down. And I also am digging the extension on that lower sill. And I'm okay with that being flat black because it's so low on the body. And Lori's kind of showing how it extends out. Now, like I told you, this is all-wheel drive. It has a unique all-wheel drive system, electric motor out back. At its lowest setting, because it's full-time all-wheel drive, it sends 30% of the power to the rear wheels. But you could even send more. And then speaking of more, this is what I'm talking about right here. This wonderful flared fender coming off the passenger door. Look at the way they did the triangular quarter window. Very, very nicely styled. A lot of brands just put gloss black there. I'm so glad they put some real glass. The trim kind of comes to a knife point. You can slice right through that big hunk of cheese with that nice knife setup. A little bit of that black and then into the trunk area coming off the rear glass. Look at the way they did the nice curve. Everything's seamless, intricate detail, full LED lighting, even a couple vortex generators to clean the air as it comes off the back of the vehicle. And speaking of the back, very, very styled in a very good way. Just simple things like adding these lines to the gloss black kind of spruces it up. It makes it come out alive. I love the way the Toyota badge is in the middle of that LED lighting. You got crown with platinum trim, and then there's that hybrid max setup. Wait until you hear about the power. But as we drop it like it's hot, super clean on the bottom. Let me know if you think there should be some kind of exhaust. I'm curious what you think, if maybe like a quad exhaust, one exhaust on each side. But I do like the way they integrated the silver, the flat black, and especially the body color in the lower area. But why don't we go ahead? We're talking about power. Let's pop the hood and see what's powering our Crown. All right, guys, we do have the hood popped. I'm very surprised. I'm actually a little let down that they have a prop rod instead of the hood strut. So we are going to zonk that on this Crown Platinum trim. But underneath the hood, a familiar sight that we have seen on other Toyota and Lexus products. You have that turbocharged power plant. Tasteful engine cover, but it's not just about the turbocharger, it's about some electrification as well. So what you're looking at is a 2.4 liter inline-4 turbocharged engine paired to some electric motors, 2 electric motors, one up front, one out back, 340 horsepower, 400 pound-feet of torque. It is connected to a direct shift 6-speed automatic transmission. It's the only trim. If you go XLE or if you go with the limited, you're going to have a CVT and a totally different power plant. It does use a nickel metal hydride battery, MPGs, 29 in the city, 32 on the highway, 0 to 60, like I said, 5.7 seconds. And this particular one weighs in around 4,306 pounds. It is on the all-new GAK platform. And like I was saying, bringing a unique style and definitely unique performance to the table. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire this up and see this Crown in motion. right, guys, come on in to this Bronze Age metallic, and it's showing all of what the crown is for 2023. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I like standing out. I like having that something that's a little different, but I also have certain expectations, and one of them being reliability and also tech. I'm curious by this crown. I've always wanted to live in a castle. When I was a kid, I had an imaginary friend that was a dragon. I'm kind of digging this one. How much is it though? Very good question. So MSRP for this particular crown, the way that it's optioned with the bicolor paint and being a platinum trim, you're looking at right around $53,000. Let's see what you get for the money to the door panel. What you're gonna find is that traditional, clean Toyota style. Up top, soft touch material, starting from the beginning and then waterfalling into the midsection. A little bit of silver on the door handle, and then I'm liking the copper arrangement right by the switchgear. The great news is no gloss black. I wish they would have used the copper a little bit more, especially in the stitching. So I am gonna zonk that. There is stitching and it looks nice, just would have looked even better with some copper. Now the door pocket is, I would say, medium size. So you could probably get some of Nashville's hot chicken and a nice bottle of Tupelo honey to wash it down. Now going from the door panel to the dash, they brought more of that copper bronze style. I am digging that. I like the way they shaped the AC vent. Soft touch material, like I was saying. And then as we get to the center stack, you're getting that 12.3-inch multimedia system. And this is the all-new multimedia system that we've already shown you on the Toyota Tundra, on the Corolla and the Camry. So lots of different vehicles having this new system, the BZ4X. So I'm not going to go crazy into depth, but I will leave the link of a review of one of those multimedia systems at the end of this one if you want to see in depth. But obviously you got your navigation, you got your over-the-air updates, wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Let me show you a couple things that I really like. First of all, very easy to add users. And when I say users, we're not just talking about like seat settings. We're talking about music, things getting downloaded as soon as you fire up and you choose your user profile. Very easy to do. The other thing that I absolutely love is you hit the little car logo and you get that energy flow. There is that new system. See the two electric motors? There's that 2.4 liter turbocharged, and that's our battery pack, nickel metal hydride battery pack down below near the rear seats, and that's gonna send that power front and rear and also to each wheel. And this is full-time all-wheel drive. Let me throw it in reverse. There's our backup camera, nice clear resolution, almost takes up the whole space. I wish they would make this a little bit smaller and just make the image bigger, but the 360 as well, the camera quality is very, very smooth. So I am digging that and you could adjust, see how I could adjust the lines and everything. You could almost play Pac-Man on this, bringing up the right lines. So that's your standard setup. Going to park, and guess what? We're right back where we started. We work our way down, AC vents. Look at the volume control knob. Almost forgot this little guy. Something that's always overlooked. I like the way it's got the bronze copper touch. AC vent super clean. You got your power on button because remember this is a hybrid max. New setup being that max hybrid. And then you got 3 stages of heated seats, 3 stages of ventilated seats. So I like having all that heating and cooling capability. Dual climate control, heated steering wheel, nice thin toggle switches. You could probably put a Twinkie up there, but I wouldn't because if it slides out, you might step on it and bust cream all over the floor. So don't do that. Wireless charging, and guess what? The wireless charging actually has a fan in there to keep your phone cool. That's pretty cool technology where they're thinking ahead. USB-Cs, 2 of them right there, easy to get to. You got a nice little cup for some atomic fireballs, maybe some Jolly Ranchers, some purple grape, some sour apple. 2 cup holders. What about the key fob? There's your crown key fob. I wish it actually said crown on it, or maybe like the picture of a crown, or maybe like a picture of Burger King or something, but it is your standard key fob, nice and light. This guy right here is going to control that 6-speed direct shift automatic transmission with that copper bronze color. all flat black except for this area here, which is just fine with me. You got a drive mode selector switch. I'll show you that when you come over to the business end. And then guess what? Soft touch material. Here's my favorite part. A lot of times we go like this. Oh, sorry guys, you can't see in here. Guess what? Boom. There it is. You got a nice little tray here. This is where you could keep all the class rings of your girlfriends that you had in high school. Just make sure that if you're married now, I would get rid of this because that might not really make things easy for you. You do have a 12 volt, a USB-A, and enough room in here that you could take that porcelain bust of Elvis Presley's head, because your grandmother lived up in Nashville. You could keep that in here as that keepsake, and it's got felt lining all the way around, so you're not gonna scratch Elvis Presley's blue suede shoes at all. And then the seats. Love the softness. Here's the piping I was telling you about. I just wish the stitching had the same color. Let me know what you think about that, but I love the design and the way it's got nice soft bolstering. Full electric assist for the passenger. I got full electric assist, of course, over here because I'm the captain of this musical hot chicken eating wonderful ride. And then on top of that, as we go, you then have that panoramic sunroof. Let the Nashville rays in, you get some vitamin D, and you get a nice tan going on. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind this new steering wheel in the new Crown. All right, guys, get your calculator out. We have a total of 2 memory seat settings, and you have 8-way adjustable seats and a JBL sound system in this platinum trim that has 11 speakers. Do the math and get back to me. Speaking of the entranceway, you do have your Crown badge. I wish they would have done something a little bit fancier, maybe have it light up LED, but it is an aluminum sill plate that's semi-tasteful, so I'll give it half a zonk. There's your seat controls for our 8-way adjustable seats. Both the passenger and the driver get 8-way adjustable. I'm 6 feet tall, and what you're gonna love is the amount of space in here. And I like the way the center console is just high enough. It's like, that's your side, this is my side, leave me alone. Steering wheel, there's some pluses and there's some zonks. I like the leather, I like the design of it. What I don't like is this horn button. Get rid of this. Does not look sexy whatsoever, but we do have some copper bronze trim, which looks great. I do like the flat black on the buttons. You do have paddles to go through the 6-speed direct shift automatic transmission. Manual tilting and telescoping wheel. That's another thing I thought would be power, but you know what? You got the power. 12.3 inches, digital gauge display. Watch this when I go in the modes. It's like Gran Turismo. You're gonna love this. Boom. Here's our modes. Custom, Sport Plus, all the way through, and I love the graphics and how clear everything is. Really allows you to create a certain personality for your Crown, that no matter whose kingdom you're driving in, you're always gonna feel good and you're gonna be in that right mode. The other thing that's the missing link, besides Excalibur's sword, is gonna be there's no head-up display. I would think on a platinum trim, head-up display would have been nice, but you know what? We focused on what's going on up here. Let's get into the back seat of the Crown and see if your passengers are gonna feel like royalty. All right, guys, back seat time, and get ready to just see how much space there is. Really like, as soon as you get in, you drop in and you feel good. And I like that. Now, you have that great soft touch material all the way around, super-sized pockets to where you can easily fit, I would say, 5 He-Man and the Masters of the Universe characters. So if you have Castle Grayskull and that's the reason why you're buying a Crown, you could bring He-Man and Skeletor with you wherever you go. You do have a little bit of a command center here where your throne is. You have your AC vents, 2 USB-Cs. So interesting that we have USB-Cs and only 1 USB-A, but I like the quick charging. I got my own pocket over here. I'm gonna get myself some Nashville flapjacks. Nice syrup maple, maybe some of that Tupelo honey if you haven't used it all on your chicken. But sitting back here, I feel good. You got the JBL sound system, plenty of headroom. They carved this headliner out perfect, just like you carve a Thanksgiving Day turkey, get out all the stuffing. Even with the panoramic sunroof, still plenty of space, and then boom. Now we're, look at this, it's like a freaking trampoline. It's a trampoline for your arm. Nice armrest, open that bad boy. We got 2 cup holders, and oh, Somebody forgot their little puff. Oh well. Close that up. Nice room. Let's get into the trunk and see what type of expensive junk we could fit in this. All right, guys, cargo area. And like I was telling you, this is not a sport back or a lift back. Follow the finger. Here's the finger. Boom. That's actually the button. So well hidden for you to release the trunk. So we hit that, lift it up, and now you're going to be greeted to a very wide, very low cargo floor. That's 15.3 cubic feet of space. I love the way they got this nice little area over here, of course, for your Nashville honky-tonk Twinkies. If you're wondering what that is, that's where you actually have grape jelly in the center of the Twinkie rather than the traditional cream. Nashville, as for the honky-tonk, tell them Joe Raiti sent you. On the other side, you'll notice the cargo liner, and just where everything is nicely done with the carpet, you have a 60-40 rear seat split. So if you need more room for that food run and the snack run, you could do that, and it's real simple. You're just gonna pull these handles that, guess what? They say pull. And then the seats will fold down. Here's a thing that surprised me. Besides the cargo liner mat, which says Crown, which is a very nice touch, you lift all this up, you get a spare tire. In a day and age where manufacturers are cutting out spares to cut weight and savings, you have it in there, but you know what? If you're ready, I'm ready. I'm the king of this castle. Let's put on our crown and go on throttle. All right, guys, we are in this 2023, this being the Toyota Crown. I'm excited we're in the platinum trim because we have that extra power. 400 pound-feet of torque. I don't know if you could wrap your mind around that, but that's pretty substantial in a vehicle in this class. Now, right away, I do appreciate how Toyota laid everything out, especially when it comes to the digital gauge display. I'm so glad that they sunk it into the actual housing area rather than having it even with the multimedia screen. It's gonna cut down on glare, and I don't know, it helps me discern between the two different types of information that are coming between the two screens. But getting everything set up is very easy, no matter if you're setting up your driver profile, like I pointed out earlier, or you're going into your different modes, which is nice. And I love the way they're bringing the clarity and the customization on these graphics. That really makes it a unique experience for everybody. And even getting to all the switch gear, very, very close. You're not really reaching for anything. And then you could turn on things like the adaptive cruise control. You could have that displayed, your GPS. I mean, it's nice, the plethora of information that you're able to display in your instrumentation. That's another way to really kind of personalize and get everything that you need. One thing I'm really noticing right away as I'm driving is just how smooth this vehicle is. Remember, you got that adaptive suspension, you have that new chassis, and it really allows you to have good visibility, but I don't feel like I'm in this top-heavy SUV. That's one of the downfalls to getting an SUV, is you really raise up that center of gravity. I feel like with this being a hybrid, it helps lower back some of that center of gravity, which allows you to really be smooth, but yet still have some nice handling characteristics. And with that E-axle, the all-new E-axle, I'm telling you, this thing turns actually surprisingly very well and grips extremely well. All right, guys, one thing I want to do is show you that 0 to 60 time. Got it in Sport Plus mode. If you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle. Yeah. It actually puts a smile on your face how quick this vehicle accelerates with that direct shift 6-speed automatic and getting the power to the ground. Now, remember, there was a little bit of slippage there because of how that E-axle works, but once you were off to the races, it was like, you're good to go, you are locked and loaded. But surprising how they could take a vehicle like this and make it as quick as it is, 0 to 60. Quite respectable for a vehicle this type and this size. All right, guys, I found this little back road here just to kind of showcase some of the handling characteristics of this vehicle. I think we need to do another on throttle. Nobody's behind us, so let's do one more. You can never have enough on throttle, right? Just like you can't have enough Twinkies. But if you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. Nicer getaway. You can hear that E-axle doing its thing, but really does a great job with getting the power to the ground, all four corners. There's these speed humps here, and I'm telling you right now, soaks it up very, very nicely. So I'm very happy to say that. And then as we get to some of the twisty bits here, this is where you're really feeling that whole system come together. And I like the way you're not really feeling it work. It's not like an on and off switch, especially with the combination of the 2.4 liter turbocharged engine and the electric motors, but really, really nicely balanced. And yes, you are getting some body roll, but that's to be expected. I mean, you can't lift up a vehicle and get no body roll. That would virtually be impossible. All right, guys, let's see how it goes here on the brakes. Feeling good into this left-hand bend. There's some of that body roll, but then you power out, and that E-axle helps pull you out of the turn. Very efficient, very effective. I mean, look at this. And you're gonna notice it. It does, it's weird because you know you're in a sedan, but it feels a little floaty, but in not too scary of a way, because you know that the all-wheel drive system is doing the business and is gonna keep you planted. That's for sure. But visibility, I think, is key in this vehicle and really allows you to drive with confidence no matter what the road situation is, and that's going to just help with your overall enjoyment of this vehicle. All right, guys, one more time for me. Definitely one more time for you. You ready? On throttle, here we go. On the brakes. There we go, power out. I would love to take this on a road course just to see what other people would think of it as it's going around the track. But really, really nice setup into this right-hand bend. Going by Mr. Thompson's farmhouse. But like I said, you could actually, I'm sure, feel it and see it for sure on the camera, the body roll, but still, I'm telling you, with the hybrid setup, you're not waiting for that boost to kick in. You're off to the races right away. So I hope that this has been a nice overall review to really showcase what the Crown is about, especially the Platinum trim. We're gonna get back to where the music started and wrap this one up from Nashville. I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been one type of royal kind of day out here in Nashville. Definitely want to thank the whole Toyota team for getting us access to this 2023 Crown. Let me know what you think. Has Toyota done enough? Enough when it comes to uniqueness, style, power, efficiency, and luxury to make this that luxury sedan worth the price? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raity's Rides family. We definitely got to give it up to the person that makes music every single day with her great camera work. Show Lori some love in that comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.